Hey everyone, before we get into today's episode, I gotta give a quick thank you to all of our lovely patrons over at patreon.com/Karstcast. If you didn't already know, we do this podcast for fun. We do it for free. We've been doing it for about 2 years now, almost 2 years. Wow. Jesus Christ. And that's all good. We love doing the podcast for fun. We love doing it for free. But if you're looking for a great way to support us and to help make the podcast just a little bit better, the best way to do so at the moment is becoming a patron. Not only would you be supporting us, but you also get access to tons of cool benefits like Zoom Hangouts every month, shout-outs at the end of every episode, bonus episodes, and I'm sure there'll be a lot more down the road. So if you're interested in supporting us, if you're interested in some cool benefits, go to patreon.com/Karstcast and enjoy the episode.
Karstcast. My name is Chia. I watch movies sometimes.
And I'm Karsten. I also watch movies sometimes.
Watch this.
You're listening to the Karstcast Moviecast.
Hello. Welcome to the 78th episode of the Karstcast Moviecast. Jeff, I have a question.
I'm ready for it.
What
I've been
color What color is the little engine in the children's book, The Little Engine That Could?
I used to read this all the time, but this was a long time ago.
Yeah.
So long ago that I think it was more often read to me because I couldn't read.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go red.
No, it is blue. It's blue.
That was my second guess, but then I felt like maybe I was conflating Thomas the Tank Engine.
Right. Well, that's what I thought. When I read the question, I was like, oh, like blue, but then I was like, oh no, that's Thomas. So we had the same
with the
minds
weird face.
Yeah. They really
Those
had
faces
some
were weird
faces in Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yeah.
I really liked that show though when I was a kid. I think that's
Yeah, me too.
Like I didn't know Alec Baldwin narrated it either. Like he was the main guy, yeah. But they were like real sets. Do you remember the one where they went off the bridge? Like the bridge collapsed and one of the trains...
I honestly don't remember anything from my childhood. I remember watching that.
Yeah.
But I don't remember any specific episodes.
Okay. I just remember it being a very dark, terrifying episode for me as a child.
Yeah.
But
that's
maybe
kind of amazing that you remember the plot of an episode of television you watched when you were 4, though.
Yeah. Yeah, because I
impressive.
don't think I remember anything else from when I was 4 besides that.
Because that's being terrified of Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yeah,
be like,
Percy.
Are these practical effects? Percy's about to die.
Percy's dead. Well, that's the thing. It's like they were real, so I think they like who cares if Nolan crashed a plane into an airport, you know? Thomas the Tank Engine blew up a real railroad just to kill off Percy, so...
That sounds like some kind of terrorist plot.
Yeah. Well, anyways, if you guys heard that correctly, that is right. We have the soundboard back. So that's
I like
what
it. What kind of options do we have right now?
So we have tons, like not a lot of new options from last time, but I only programmed a few into this MIDI board. So we have a ding, a buzzer, a sad trombone, and the classic.
Nice.
And we have whatever this is. Oh. Yep, that's the one.
Oh, so that's for like announcements.
Yeah. For the when we announce the next movie of the week at the end of the episode.
Yeah. Okay. One thought I had right then.
Yep.
And I'll tell you in 1 second. What if we had like quotes from us that you could activate?
Oh yeah.
Wait, no, that's a bad idea.
Well, so that would be funny.
That'd be confusing.
Also, yeah, we'd be like, no one would know when is the current,
right?
When's the...
You could just make me sound like a huge idiot by just having some like very bad take that you could play.
Yeah, I'll have like live of those edits that they do.
Yeah,
on
you
subreddit,
clip me saying something negative about a film, and then when we like watch an actual good film, you just play that. You're like, I thought the plot was stupid, and it's like for Parasite.
But the the funny thing about this is that you're here when I do that, so you can just live react and be like, I didn't say that, and then I can play something else, and then really confuse everybody.
I feel like that's not gonna work well.
No. We could just play the theme song in the middle of. No, dumb bit. No. Yeah. Wait. Where's my favorite one? There it is. Wait. God, I accidentally pressed
Why
it
is
twice.
it twice?
That was an accident.
Okay, I thought that was the sound bite. Just happy.
We also have the outro for anyone. Episode's over. Everybody, I'm in a silly mood today. Yeah. Anyways.
And you also have the DJ shirt on, and you have
Yeah,
the
I didn't
soundboard
mean
back.
to-
It's like you're the soundboard DJ.
Yeah, I had no bit to follow that up with. I was gonna play like a record scratch, but I don't have it. Yeah, we have rain ambiance. That's the last.
Why?
Okay. I don't know. For when
I can't imagine a single time, unless we're like, imagine this: you're in your house and it's raining. Or it's like setting some kind of ambiance.
Yeah. Well, we have a bunch of ambiance actually. But anyways, what was I gonna say? Oh, how was your week, Jeff?
Oh, I am. As of
Heard a big sneeze
that,
in the back.
well, as of today, I'm back in Florida, and I
Yep.
am not quarantining in my parents' house anymore. I'm allowed to leave this room.
It's been less than 2 weeks though, hasn't it?
No,
you
it's
guys
been
just-
exactly 2 weeks.
It's been exactly 2. Wow, how time flies.
When you're sitting in a
having-
room
Yeah, having a blast. That's crazy.
playing Xbox by yourself.
Yeah. Have you played any good new games that you would recommend?
No, I
Anybody?
haven't played any new games.
You haven't played Fall Guys yet?
I haven't, because I don't. Is that even on the Xbox? I feel like it's not.
Oh, I don't think it is. Yeah.
I never even looked. I just assumed it wasn't.
Yeah. I just know it's not on the Switch, which that's the same thing. I assume it's not on
Yeah,
the Switch.
I
most of the
feel
time.
like that game also would aggravate me,
Yeah.
because it's just people like grabbing onto you when you're
Yeah.
trying to do something.
Which nobody enjoys. But then
Right.
you get to do that to other people, which I can assume is pretty satisfying, making the other guys fall.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish we had crickets, but we don't. Yeah. Well, that's
Savvy
cool.
move on your part.
Yeah. I need to get some new games, which is why I ask. I'm getting a little tired of Mario Maker, but I had not a great week. Well, I actually had a really good week since the last time we recorded, because I went up north and we had a good time. It was a long drive, but I got a parking ticket like this third day I got back. So that's
That's rough.
yeah. You never like to get
How
a parking
much
ticket.
was the ticket for?
It was $60, which
Okay.
is just enough to be an inconvenience, but
Yeah.
just enough to not get that upset about it. It could be way worse, you know?
It's also the exact price of a new game.
Yeah. Yep. So
that was your new game, was a
that
parking
was
ticket.
my new game, was just parking on the wrong side of the street for a day. It was one of those stupid ones where it's like, usually you can park on that street and I have my permit and everything, but they were like street cleaning or whatever that
so
means.
for people who don't live in Chicago,
yeah.
street cleaning is pretty much the most like universally known thing, right? So I'm just telling people, don't really have sympathy for you missing the street cleaning, because they put giant like yellow or orange
signs, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the
So
thing is,
it's like a week beforehand, so you can't park there that one day for the like from 9 to 2, I think.
yeah, so what happened was I saw it coming because there was Thursday and there was Friday. So when it's on Thursday, you got to move to the Friday side. And that's what I did. But then I forgot that on Friday, I got to get out
Ooh,
of the
yeah,
Friday
you gotta
side.
move back.
So I was stuck there on Friday and came
Yeah.
back from a bike ride and saw a ticket.
Yeah, I think that I've gotten one street cleaning ticket when I lived in Chicago, which
Yeah.
technically I don't right now.
Yeah. Well, the good
But
thing
there
about
was
it
one
is,
day where I ran to my car at like 9:20 and I didn't get a ticket yet. I moved it. I just like happened to remember.
wow. See, yeah. I had to get it out of there by 9, and I noticed it at 2, which was actually like 20 minutes after the expiration was up. So I was like, I could just leave it here.
Well, yeah, at
which
that
I
point,
did.
you might as well.
Yeah, I did.
I mean, well, they're not going to give you 2 tickets on the same day. So once you get the ticket,
No.
you might as well just leave.
Yeah. So
I mean, you come back to your car and you're like, yeah, we gave you 30 tickets just for the same offense. It's like, yeah, $1,800 of tickets.
just for parking here on a Friday. Yeah.
Like, how about that, Mr. YouTube? It just turns out the street cleaning person's just out to get you.
It's just, I think one of the worst parts of it is it's just embarrassing because you're the only car on the street and everyone can just drive by and laugh.
Yeah, that's the worst part.
At your one car with the ticket on it. And it's a big, like, it doesn't need to be that big. I have well, I won't pull it out in case I accidentally show off my address or anything. Well, they wouldn't know my address.
Also,
Anyways,
you edit this, so
I do edit this, so I could just edit it out. But I have the ticket, like, right here on my desk, and it's just way too big. It's like calm down. Anyways, my hair's grown back a lot. And
yeah, your hair's longer than my hair now.
Yeah, it happened out of nowhere. I feel like it was like it was normal for a while, and then I woke up this week and was like, oh, I have a lot of hair now.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Chia Pet thing going on. Except that your hair is hair and not a plant.
Not grass, yeah. That'd be really funny, though. I've been thinking about getting a plant, but the issue is that, like, this room has one window, and I would need to get a plant that doesn't need sunlight that badly, which I conveniently just found a thread on Twitter, which listed a bunch of plants that don't need it. But now I don't know where to get those plants.
Why don't you get a Chia Pet?
Because that's just sad. You don't
Okay,
wanna...
have you seen that they have Chia Pets of Scooby-Doo?
I thought that was like one of the main ones, yeah.
Yeah, it is, I think. But it doesn't make any sense. That's not how dogs' hair grows. Dogs don't grow like human patches of hair just in one spot on their head.
I think you're underestimating Scooby. I think Scooby...
I guess you can talk, so I guess maybe
he can do whatever he
it's
wants.
like in the new Scooby-Doo that he just has like a human haircut.
It's just like... Yeah. Well, I'm trying to think. I actually only know the Scooby-Doo Chia Pet. So I don't know what else. Well, I know they might have like a Sonic one or something.
There's probably like a porcupine or something. I don't know. They probably have ones that make sense.
Yeah.
I think get a Chia Pet. I think it's coming around again to where it's cool now.
That'd be really funny if we both got Chia Pets and had them, and we would get sponsored.
A Chia Pet.
So
They just give us one Chia Pet a month, and then by like a year from now, we just have our room like covered in Chia Pets.
yeah, they make custom Karstcast Chia Pets where it's just the Karstcast logo, but
It's just your hair. It's
grows
your head
hair.
and your.
Yeah. But they do the... Never mind. I was going to say they do the bald phase I went through, so it just makes no sense. It's just a bald.
Like, you planned the Chia Pets, but there's no holes for it to come out. It's just,
It's
like
just-
a solid plasters.
Yeah.
Well,
anyways.
this is probably the most anyone's
that's-
talked about Chia Pets on a podcast in
Yeah.
a long time.
Chia Pets and parking tickets. That's today's theme.
It's like the least clickable podcast title ever.
We're like, why don't we get any listens on this podcast? And then that's what we talk about. Cool. Well, we might as well talk about the movie now. I guess that's... I like how every time I segue into the movie, it's like, oh, I might as well talk about it. It's just... But today we're talking about Looper. It is a 2013 film directed by Ryan Johnson. And the synopsis reads, in a future society, time travel exists, but it's only available to those with the means to pay for it on the black market. When the mob wants to eliminate someone, it sends the target into the past, where a hitman known as a looper lies in wait to finish the job. Joe, played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, is one such hired gun, and he does his job well, until the day his bosses decide to close the loop and send Joe's future self, Bruce Willis, back in time to be killed. So what a mouthful, right?
Yep.
So I want to ask, so are you into like time traveling sci-fi films, Jeff?
I do like time travel.
Okay. So
Just as an idea. So they're fun.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, what are some of your favorite time travel films or media.
I like Inception. I thought Inception was really cool. Back to the Future is good. I think it's
Okay, 2 days ago I just watched it for the first time.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm gonna watch part 2 possibly tonight.
Were you at the? Never mind.
No, I wasn't. I didn't go on purpose because I figured the first time I watched that film, I didn't want it to be in a Netflix party with a bunch of people commenting, "Look at Michael J. Fox's like puffy jacket and stuff." Like,
well,
I'd
they
rather
did
just watch
like
the movie.
I didn't participate in this, but they did like a drinking game. Everybody at the Netflix party for like every time you see a clock on the screen, you take a drink. And there's a lot
which
of
sounds like a bad idea because well, I mean, there's also like in the beginning, there's just like a room full of a bunch of clocks.
Yeah. There's also like,
would you take one drink for that, or would you take like 15?
I don't know. It was Netflix party, so I think everyone kind of did their own thing. But I just sat back and kind of watched as the chat slowly. Yeah, but I thought Back to the Future was. What did you think of Back to the Future?
I mean, it was a bit weird how like 50% of the plot was Marty's own mom hitting on him.
Yeah.
Like that felt like more of it should have been an aside to the film, like
a
weird that should have been
gag.
like a funny gag for like 2 minutes.
Yeah,
and not
but that was
the
like
crux of the entire film. Mm-hmm. Like the actual what was happening in this film was Marty was in the past trying to get his mom to not be attracted to him.
Yeah,
and go out with his dad,
right?
Which is kind of weird.
Like you would think,
like it would have made sense if it was getting his mom to go out with his dad, but the fact that the like stumbling block was that she wanted to go out with him was kind of weird.
Yeah, it's crazy that like one of the most beloved, I would argue, family film, like of all time, it like is that.
Oh, that's one of the most classic 80s blockbusters.
Yeah, it's like a classic, like, that is a movie.
That's in the Indiana Jones, like, realm of films.
Yeah.
And I had never seen it, and I didn't know that's what it was about. Mm-hmm. I mean, I knew it was about going back to the future.
Which he does, yeah.
Which, at the end, he does, to get back to where he was from, which is the future. Well, actually, shouldn't it be called Back to the Present?
That's what I was thinking, yeah. I had a lot of questions during the call.
Yeah, that's kind of messed up.
Mm-hmm. So, if you want a review on
that
Back
sounds
to
like
the
Christmas music. Back to the Present.
Back to Oh, man. I wish I had Christmas sound effects, but I don't know why they would give me those as the default.
Like sleigh bells.
Yeah, I thought we had one. Oh, no, I downloaded one for the Christmas episode we did.
We should get Frank Caliendo as a guest and have him do all the sound effects.
Right after this, my audio got really fuzzy, so I cut it out, and this is me acknowledging it and why it jumps out of nowhere. Okay.
I do know what's happening. It's because so you use that like that plugin that you have to pay for, and if you don't pay for it, it makes it all
like
fuzzy.
You get like a 30-minute trial. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
it's of that one that lets you use internal sounds as like, I think I know what it is, 'cause I think I used that once for like one specific thing.
Yeah.
And then after a while, it just gets really fuzzy.
Yeah, and the thing is, I bought it back in like LA when I got, because you need this to access the soundboard to bring them together. I'm sure there's a way, but I got this plugin, and I have it purchased, but I had to activate it on this computer, which I just now did. So, how long was my audio fuzzy?
Maybe like a minute before I said something.
Okay.
It was just during the John Madden conversation. It wasn't anything interesting. And Frank Caliendo.
Yep, who I now know. Cool. Well, anyways, Looper. Yeah. So, did you ever see Knives Out also?
I saw Knives Out. I saw Knives Out when I was in Madrid, I think.
Okay.
So I even had the Spanish subtitles.
Nice. Did you liked Knives Out?
Yeah, I did.
Cool. Yeah, because that was the first. Well, I guess if we're not counting, did you see The Last Jedi? We're just talking Rian Johnson.
Did I see The Last Jedi? I don't remember if I did.
It was famously like hated by like Star Wars fans, at least. Like it was like a super weirdly like controversial film because it was trying to do something different. And I just didn't like it that much when I originally saw it because I was just not interested in Star Wars, slash was just in a bad mood during the movie. But I rewatched it recently, and I really liked it. And I realized I really like Rian Johnson. He's like a really fun filmmaker, and he does so many different things, which is why I like this, because it's this action sci-fi movie that has really no resemblance to Knives Out or Last Jedi, and I haven't seen
Yeah, no, it seems like
but
he takes genres and just goes all out. Where Knives Out is such a like unabashed whodunit.
yeah, exactly.
Where it like you're breaking the conventional like style of filmmaking so much that it is kind of risky.
Yeah,
Because it's just like a series of interviews for that film.
yeah.
But it works.
It works really well. That is true. He just like has a lot of fun with whatever genre he chooses to go about. But yeah, all that
this was
said,
a full-on sci-fi time travel, which
Yeah.
I didn't get around to my favorite time travel.
oh yeah, what is
Futurama.
it? Futurama?
Yeah, it's not
I
a
did not.
movie.
Yeah, I didn't expect that as an answer, but I have never been able to get into Futurama. But I was also like younger when I tried to get into it, so maybe I'm just.
I'm gonna make a statement that my favorite episode of any television show is Luck of the Friarish.
Okay.
So I'm just throwing it out there.
That's
you
a
know?
good name for the episode.
Right. Yeah, that's a great name. I've never seen the episode. It's just the name's good.
Okay, cool. But we have. Let's see, we're at 23 minutes. Yeah. So I did like this movie. That's my review.
Me too.
For today.
All right, on to the questions.
Okay, I will say this is what I've been trying. I don't know why it
Yeah.
took me this long to say this, but usually like sci-fi time travel action movies, like even though I like them, there are those that I enjoy. Like they're kind of just not usually my thing. Like I don't know. They just seem, I don't want to say predictable, but you do know what kind of mood and movie you're getting yourself into, and it's hard to be surprised at the surprises that they usually come with, if that makes any
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah,
And this-
well, it's because when you're in the past, you always have to reconcile, with the future, and that it has to end up being like it already is because you went back from something that happened.
Yeah. And yesterday is today. Okay, there is. I see what you're saying. I'd also like to say though, on the confusing bit note, that there's a point in the movie where he's like, 32 years from now is yesterday, and I laughed because I was like, this sounds like something we'd say in the podcast.
Yeah. All right. Okay, just as an overarching part of this film. So, what were they doing with Joseph Gordon-Levitt's face? Okay,
so
because they were trying to like Benjamin Button him to look like Bruce Willis.
So that was okay. As soon as he popped up on the screen for the first time in the movie, which I believe is like the first shot, I was like, "Who the fuck is that?" But then I was like, "Oh, that's Joseph Gordon-Levitt."
Yeah, like what was that kid show? Was it called like Fun Town or something with like Spartacus?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, or whatever. Yeah, that's what he looked like. He just looked like his face was made of clay.
He looked like he belonged, and I forget when specifically this film takes place. If it
It
took
was like
place,
2044, I think.
Yeah. He did not look. I don't know. He didn't look like he belonged to any time period specifically. He looked like a
didn't look
mashup
he
of everything.
Belonged to the humans.
But then I forgot that Bruce Willis is in this. So when he showed up, I was like, oh, I guess he's like kind of looks like.
I just don't think it was worth it because
No.
generally when people have flashbacks, the actors don't look that much like the
No.
older versions, and everyone's fine with it. We accept it.
I think it was
And
the eyebrows for me that.
The whole thing was weird. Like, just let it be Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and we just pretend he ages into Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
I don't need to look at some weird clay face man.
Yeah. He did
It was
look like he was made
distracting.
out of clay.
Because also in some of the shots he would look like Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and then some he would look like some CGI weird guy.
Yeah.
It was very inconsistent.
Yeah, that was definitely okay. The thing is, like, we joke about this. He looked odd, but that did affect, I feel like, a good part of my movie experience for this. Because I didn't like this dude.
Yeah. And the thing is, I like Joseph Gordon-Levitt, so if they just made it look more like him.
Yeah, just put Don John in the movie.
Yeah.
And it'd be a great...
Keep the accent.
Keep... My body. My clocks. Because he's got clocks. But yeah, that's the thing. I just didn't care that much. I thought, like, conceptually, everything about this, like, in theory, really works. And this is another thing about Rian Johnson that I'm realizing is, like, he just has the worst job. I feel like his movies, I again haven't seen Brick, but it's like Star Wars, he had to figure out all the Star Wars shit and then do his own thing. Knives Out, it's like I can't imagine putting all that together.
Just how interweave like these plots are.
And then this one, it's like how he had to deal with it's like he deserves more credit, I feel like, as a screenwriter.
Yeah. No, the fact that this film made any sense.
Yeah.
Because it barely makes sense. Like, I don't understand why, if you were a powerful conglomerate in the future, you would risk sending anyone back in time to change that. Like, that just seems like a dumb idea. Because it's so easy to change the future when you send someone to the past. I feel like you'd only want to send someone to the past if you were like a loser in the future, like Marty's dad.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh, I'm super powerful and rich in the future. Time to send someone back in time to mess that up.
Yeah. That is very true. There are a lot of weird things.
They're just like, it's too hard to dispose of bodies in the future, so we got to send them to the past. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. There were a lot of moments, kind of, and I think you mentioned this, like, at the beginning of this, but where you're hyper aware of the future for most of this movie, as you are with most time travel movies. So I'm like, every, like, small thing that happens in their present, I'm like, so that's going to psychologically affect them in some way. And it just goes unaddressed because obviously it would just turn the movie into a mess. But it's like, there was a lot that I was focusing on.
Yeah. Here's another thing that doesn't make sense. The scene pretty early on when his friend is getting, like, his body parts cut off.
Yeah.
Okay, how would his friend even make it that far into the future when he doesn't have any legs or hands? Well, they're like, his life would have been good enough for his future self to somehow make it all the way to get time travel backwards with no body parts. That doesn't make any sense.
No, that whole friend part, that was getting me a little confused.
Like, there's so many logical issues with this film.
Yeah. Also, while we're on that note, though, I just thought there was going to be more Paul Dano, and there wasn't that much. And he's a great actor, so I was a little disappointed there. He also kind of overacts in this movie, though, I will say. But anyways. Yeah. I don't...
Paul Dano's in Swiss Army Man?
Yep.
Yeah.
Swiss Army Man and Little Miss Sunshine and some others. There Will Be Blood. What was I saying? Yeah, I don't know. I sound like I don't like this movie, but I thought it was really cool. Like, I always have a good time with time travel sci-fi movies. It's just that, like, this one, first of all, like we said, didn't make some sense some places, and I don't blame it for that. But also, it's just out of all the things that Rian Johnson has done, this is the one I care about the least as far as a style goes.
I would agree with that. And again, I enjoyed watching this film, but that doesn't mean I can't acknowledge that the time travel element was not very well thought out. Or I think it was thought out, and then they realized it didn't make sense, and then they were like, not important.
Yeah. Okay, like, I had this one point. This kind of goes... This isn't, like, that much related, but I compare this a lot to Snowpiercer, Bong Joon-ho's film from, like, around the same time, and I think that's a lot better than this. It's a lot more fine-tuned, but it's like, it's another example of something by a director that's like this sci-fi action high concept thing that all technically works, but doesn't really pave the way in a like that smoothly, if that makes any sense. I don't know. It's just, it's inaccessible, not in a way where it's like too big for the viewer, but in a way where it's like it doesn't invite them as much as maybe the filmmaker's other work has. If that makes any sense.
I think that makes sense.
Okay, cool. Just
Yeah, and I think, yeah, no, you know what? I think that makes sense.
Awesome. Thanks, Jeff. I did really like the ending. We won't get too into it because I actually don't want to spoil this one. I guess, like, and there isn't much to spoil. I don't have to expand on this that much, but I just really like the ending. Like the way, just the choice that Joe made, I thought it made sense and it was cool the way they built up to it. So yeah, I thought it was a cool movie is what I'm getting at.
The only thing, I feel like we need a spoiler section.
Okay, then I'll do the spoiler section. If you want to skip spoilers, go to the 36-minute, 59-second mark in 3, 2, 1.
If the future self learned everything that the younger self learned, then he would have known at the exact same moment that he figured out that it was his older self causing the loop of the kid becoming evil. Yeah, he would have learned that before, because he shot himself before his older self shot the mom. Yeah. So then his older self would have known that, and then he would have known not to shoot. Because then they tried to play it off as this loop that was inevitably going to happen. But he would have to grow up into an adult and then 30 years later go and try to kill that kid, even knowing that's what caused all of that to happen. Yeah. So this doesn't really make a lot of sense. No. Once you really start to think about it, it doesn't make a lot of sense. No. Because they emphasize so hard that everything he learns when he's younger, he remembers when he's older. Like the moment it happens. Yeah. That's okay. You know, we're starting to get to what I don't like about this movie. And it's the fact that it just relies on you really, like, believing in it more than you should. 100%. You need to buy in and not question anything that's happening and just watch it. Which I think holds it back because, like a great film, you need to be able to analyze. In this film, under the smallest amount of analysis, which is our specialty on the Karstcast, it just falls completely apart. Yeah. And the thing is, it's like, not to bring up Knives Out again, but it's like, I feel like that is the complete opposite of this, where it's like, he thought of every possible alternative, and it's like really narrowed it down to it's like, what you got is exactly what happened in the movie, where it's basically like nonfiction. Question about this film. Okay, can't say I'm gonna answer it. Why don't they just kill the people before they send them back in time? Because it's like a chamber they're sending them into, so you would think it's just because like his clothes aren't living things and they still come with them, so it doesn't need to be alive to get sent back in time. Then you wouldn't need to then the loopers wouldn't need to worry about shooting them in the first second they're back. You could just kill the people and then just send them back as corpses, and then they could just dispose of them. You don't have to worry about them running away and changing the past. But isn't it because they want to make it so that the body never existed? Like, it's to prevent just, like, the law? It's like, if they were to do that before they sent them back, then it's like they have a dead body on their hands. But only for, like, 1 minute. No, wait, were you saying, like, before they sent... I'm saying like, they just shoot them, and then they immediately put them in the time travel thing. I wonder if you can do that, if they put corpses in the time travel chamber. Because, I mean, like, their clothes and all this stuff come with them. Yeah. Those aren't living things. So it seems like any matter. I forget. Back. They explained this at the beginning, but what happens to the dead body in the past when he does it after a second? Like, what do they do with that dead body? I don't know. I remember he throws it in the fire, but I don't remember if that's in the... I think that's in the... That's in the present. Past. The past, yeah. Which is the present for most of the film. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay. I think
Yeah, and also the fact that Bruce Willis was like, okay, you got to meet this woman,
Uh-huh.
and then Joseph Gordon-Levitt's like, what? And I feel like that is just gonna be weird now, because if he already, I don't know, this film doesn't really make sense, because things that happen in the past would affect the future so much.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Okay.
None of this makes sense.
No.
Why have we been trying to analyze the time travel part of this film?
No. Also, I would just like to say that it's like the time travel thing is like a huge thing in the first 45 minutes, and then they're like, no, this is actually about Emily Blunt and her whole thing, and they just don't do the time travel that much after that, and it's fine. It's like cool, but they really like just
that kid is creepy as hell.
Kid was creepy.
I was hoping that Bruce Willis would kill that kid. I was like, I don't like this kid. Something's off about him.
No,
I know he's supposed to seem ominous because he turns into an evil guy.
Yeah. Okay. Now I'm just trying to figure out when I cut out the spoilers, but yeah. It's true. I didn't like the kid either. He gave a good performance, I will say. I didn't expect like that strong of a performance from a kid, but I just didn't like his voice, I think. The voice was just when he was doing the math, I was like,
because even when he's supposed to seem endearing, I didn't like him.
Right. And that's the main flaw with the film.
Ryan Johnson should have talked to that kid. Said, "Be less creepy. let's do another one, but like less creepy.
Less creepy, yeah.
Let's do one, but it's like you're not a demon child." And he's like, "Yeah, Bruce, keep doing your thing, buddy. You're killing it.
You're killing it, Joseph. You look weird, but we're gonna keep it that way."
Joseph, how long were you in makeup?
Yeah.
What did they do to you?
What are we feeling for a score?
That's you go first, and I'll probably base my score off your score.
All right. I am feeling like a 3.5 because I did like it. I had a cool time with it. I got like a little bored at some spots, I won't lie. And it's mostly because it's just like I guess it becomes boring when you stop caring, and you stop caring because the world just doesn't make a lot of sense. And as soon as like you kind of give up on trying to make sense of it, it's just like you're kind of just along for the ride. So yeah, 3.5 out of 5 for me.
Yeah, I was kind of feeling 3, and it's for all the same reasons. Yeah, and I see why people like this film. I think a lot of the action sequences are well done. The time traveling element is at least done in an interesting way, just even if it doesn't hold up to a lot of scrutiny.
Yeah.
But it was just, for me, hard to really care about it when it doesn't make any sense at all.
No, yeah, that makes sense. What you made sense as opposed to the.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. What are we feeling for a time of day rating?
You gotta use the soundboard. You gotta go like.
Wait. There we go. What are we feeling for a time of day rating?
Drum roll.
Oh wait, I was putting on because we have night ambiance, so I was gonna say, are we feeling 8? Oh god, that was way too loud. Are we feeling 8 p.m.? Why does it sound like that? All right, we're just gonna.
I like how that's night. It's just like it sounds like a bunch of bugs yelling at me.
Jeff, you're going first.
4 p.m.
Well, I'm gonna go 3 p.m. Just an hour earlier.
You have to wait so long to say
I
the
know.
answer.
It's
I was
a
like,
little
okay, 4 p.m.
4
And it's
p.m.,
also a long wait for an answer that is completely arbitrary and doesn't mean anything.
Nope. But it holds a lot of weight to it. You can really tell the quality of a movie based on that time of day.
I mean, if you give it prime time, it's got to be good.
Right. Cool. Well, I think we're gonna get into some questions here. These come from the Karstcast subreddit, r/Karstcast. If you want to get in on the fun, go over there. We have a new meme of the month coming soon. This is all up to Jeff.
I will probably start editing it tomorrow. Possibly finishing it tomorrow. We'll see.
Wow.
But maybe finishing
There we
it
go.
on Tuesday.
So yeah, we got a new meme of the month. It looked like I was checking my watch, but I was actually just checking my eczema that I have on my.
I'm like, what time is it?
I had to let everyone know.
Eczema.
It's eczema PM. Yeah. Anyways, this first one comes from Dean Memes, and this one might be a thinker, but it is. What are the best movie posters? I feel like we may have answered this.
We have answered this before.
We have?
And
Okay.
I know I said Ishtar because I own those two posters.
You do own Ishtar. Okay. I may have said these answers before, but I'll say them again. I really like the Dogtooth poster for the Yorgos Lanthimos movie. The Killing of a Sacred Deer poster, also Yorgos Lanthimos. I like the Lobster one too. He's got a lot. All of his posters are great.
I like posters that are not the classic, like, blue and orange action-y. I just don't like generic posters.
Same. Yeah. Which is like all the blockbuster films. Looper has a blockbuster ass poster. It's not a good poster. Like, it is interchangeable with Tenet.
I'm going to have to look it up and see if does Joseph Gordon-Levitt look super weird?
If I had known beforehand, we would have picked a different movie.
Does he look like he was made out of Play-Doh?
Wait, does he? Okay, because there's two. Yeah, he does look a little weird.
Yeah, he
anyways.
looks like he's made out of Play-Doh.
Yeah. I like the Anatomy of a Murder poster, which is done by Saul Bass, and I like what was the other one? There was one other, but I'm forgetting it. Shit. Yeah, I think that'll do though. Those three, but all of Yorgos Lanthimos' posters are beautiful. Cool. This next one comes from Obscure Argument, and it is: do you guys watch end credits in theaters or at home? Do you watch the end credits, Jeff?
I watch the end credits about 50% of the time, I would say.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Mainly when I just don't feel like getting up yet.
Yeah.
And then there's every now and then I'll be with someone who does some film production job, and I just like want to see who made it.
Yeah. I know our Jaxie, who's been on the pod before, she's very like watches the credits every single time. Which is good. I've been getting better at it. I do it most of the time unless it's like a really bad movie or I just need to get out of there. I just need to do something else. It sucks. I never do them at film festivals because I'm always like in a rush because I have to get somewhere. But
yeah, I mean, the thing though, because I mean, there's some arguments that people have where it's like you should respect the people who worked on the film and watch their names. So it's not like I remember their names.
Yeah.
2 seconds after I'm sitting through it. So it doesn't...
You're not gonna get anything out of it.
So unless you're interested to actually see who made the film,
yeah,
I wouldn't just sit there like being like, now I'm respecting them by watching this.
Yeah. Sometimes the end credits look pretty cool. I think I'm thinking of ending things credits they look nice. Yeah.
I still need to see that.
It's good.
And then once I see it, I'm gonna watch your new video.
Watch my video. I'm really proud of that video.
I've heard it's good.
If you're the talk of the town. But yeah. So I will say, like, I usually watch them in theaters more than I do at home, which doesn't make sense. Like, I should just.
Well, most of the streaming services they just auto skip the credits.
Yeah.
They're like, here's credits for 5 seconds. Okay, time to play the next movie in the queue.
Right. Which, funny enough, I was going to bring this up. At the end of Looper, it gave me 5 seconds before it started auto playing Twilight of all films.
Yeah, you know what mine started playing?
What?
Isle of Dogs.
What? That's so random.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know if there's really a lot of crossover in these audiences.
No.
I mean, I'm sure there's some, but not an inordinate amount of people deciding, you know what would be a great companion piece to Looper?
Isle of Dogs.
George Clooney is a dog.
Is George Clooney a dog in that movie?
Yeah, isn't he a dog? Is he a
No.
dog?
No, he's not. He's a fox in Fantastic Mr. Fox. Bryan Cranston is the main dog.
Oh, you're right. It's Bryan Cranston.
The main pooch.
Yeah, I was in my head mixing up the voices because I've seen Fantastic Mr. Fox more recently.
Makes sense.
He should have been a dog. Honestly, it would have been.
He should have. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, that answers that. This next one comes from Inferior Design 1. It is how to stay awake while watching a movie. Any advice, I'm assuming, is what it's asking
I'm going to
for.
say get the proper amount of sleep beforehand, and then also don't be up for a super long period of time.
Yeah.
And then if that doesn't work, drink a lot of coffee.
Yeah, because
If that doesn't work, hire a man to sit next to you and slap you in the face whenever you start falling asleep.
Yeah, they got plenty of those guys around.
I mean, I'll do it.
Jeff will do it. Yeah.
$10 an hour.
Right. If you
But
pledge...
I only watch buddy comedies.
I was going to say, if you pledge $15 on Patreon, we'll come to your house and slap you in the face while you're watching movies.
We write that as one of the perks.
We should make that an unattainable thing that no one's going to...
Yeah, like $1,500.
Yeah, $1,500.
What if someone actually pays for it and we have to be like, oh,
We're like, fuck
we
this,
gotta fly to Portland and
yeah. Slap this
guy
kid.
in the face.
What? But yeah, as someone who does fall asleep, I wouldn't say fall asleep, but gets like sleepy during movies. I would say it's usually like, yeah, just get a coffee is the thing. Like every time I got stay awake.
Yeah, and the other thing is, if you're so tired already that you're thinking you might fall asleep, just don't watch the movie.
It's just
go
not
to
worth
sleep,
it. Yeah.
wake up, then watch it.
Yeah.
Because it's not fun to have a movie that's you might like and then be so tired that you're not really paying attention. Because if you're about to fall asleep, you're also just not really paying attention.
Yeah, exactly. That's what sucks about one last film festival tidbit. But at TIFF last year, I had like a 9 a.m. screening of Jojo Rabbit, which meant I had to be at the place at like 8 a.m. And it was fine. I had coffee, watched Jojo Rabbit. And then at like in the middle of the day, I had A Hidden Life, which is like this 3-hour World War II film by Terrence Malick. And that was like a lot. Again, not sleepy. But then I had a third film that night. And this was also my last day of the festival, which was The Truth, which was just this like 90-minute drama by Corietta, who did Shoplifters. And it seemed like a good film, but I was just so exhausted. I was like dozing off a lot during it. And I was like, well, this sucks.
And then the director was sitting right next to you.
Yeah, yep.
And they yelled at you.
They yelled at me. They called me out. They slapped me across the face in front of everybody.
And that's why you didn't get accreditation to go to TIFF this year.
Yeah, unfortunately. And the funny thing is, I had to see The Two Popes later that night. But after that movie, I was like, nope, I'm done for the day. I'm going to go back to this Airbnb. But, yeah, that's my little film festival story. So don't go see Jojo Rabbit at 9 a.m. is my advice.
Damn, too bad TIFF wasn't a physical film festival.
Yeah.
We were going to go.
We were going to go. We probably would have gotten approved.
And we would have tried to see Nomadland.
Yeah. We'll talk about this afterwards. This last one comes from Lily Hearn, directed by, I was reading the Rian Johnson thing. It is favorite music genre. I don't know why I said directed by. But what is your favorite music genre, Jeff? I feel like it could go anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I listen to a lot of kind of sort of in the pop rock alternative 80s to modern sphere generally.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
It's a big sphere,
yeah,
but
yeah, I don't know if I have like a very narrow. I'm not like, like 2005's power pop or something.
Yeah.
But
Noted.
it's just, I cast a broad net.
Yeah.
I don't know why this was my cast a
That was
net. Like the wrist, like I'm like I cast a broad net.
I'm gonna use that as the thumbnail for today. I just really like hip hop and rap. It's my favorite genre. All sides.
And also, according to your shirt, you're a DJ.
I'm a big DJ. Yeah. I've had this shirt. This is one of the oldest shirts I have. I've had it since high school. And I don't know why I bought it. I did DJ 2 school dances though. I don't know if I brought that up in here yet, but I did.
I don't think so.
No.
Were you not allowed to dance then? You had to just stand there the whole time?
Which was my plan. Because I think I hated going to the high school dances. It was always really awkward. I didn't know when to start dancing, what to dance. So I was the
vice. But you were a popular kid, so you couldn't not go to the dances.
Exactly.
You had to find a way to go.
I don't want to be a loser who doesn't go, but I don't want to be the loser that's dancing weird. So what I did was I ran for the student activities committee. I got vice president and worked my way up the ladder in that committee to be like, hey, what if I DJ'd the dance? And the teacher was like, yeah. And then that's how I went about the dances in high school.
You should have worked your way up to president by doing one of those parasite schemes to get the person fired.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. All in the student activities committee. That's actually that's really funny.
Yeah.
Think about
I don't know what you would have done though to get them fired. I mean, I don't know this person, so what do you think you would have done?
They were all nice guys, so they also you know what? I made the vice president thing out to be a really special thing. I was the only guy running, so I had to win the position.
Yeah.
But yeah, all love to Lexi.
You
and
did
Weston.
make it sound out like you explicitly made it sound like you were running opposed.
Yeah.
And that you won an election.
I was like, I won the election.
You didn't say that what happened was you're like, I want to be vice president, and everyone just said, okay.
Okay. He's the only name on the ballot. But you do have to get this is not interested. You do have to get elected to be a part of the committee at first, and then once in the committee, you can run for office. Okay. But I did have a competition when getting into the committee.
And who did you beat out? Name them.
Oh God. Justin was definitely one of the names, I will say. And there were multiple Justins in the grade, so we can all figure that one out later.
All of the hardcore Karsten fans with their Karsten high school yearbooks are flipping through the pages.
Someone did, so really creepy story. Not creepy, but someone 2 years ago, I think, back when my channel wasn't even that big, sent me a picture of my name in one of the high school textbooks and was like, I didn't know you went to my school. And I was like, what are the odds that you get my high school textbook?
Okay, I'm going to say that actually is not a creepy story.
That's not. No, that's why I was like, I don't know why.
Someone found one of your high school yearbooks and bought it, and they actually lived in New Zealand or something, and they're stalking you. But it's just someone who happened to go to the same school you went to.
Yeah.
They didn't go out of their way to figure this information out.
Yeah, no, it was just a nice.
So whoever you are, if you're listening, we don't think you're creepy, or at least I don't.
You're definitely not creepy. Does. Yeah, you're just a hardworking high school student. I feel bad. The thing is about those textbooks is I remember just destroying the pages.
Okay, I actually do have a story about this.
Yeah.
So when I was in middle school, I had a math book, and I left it open on the floor one day, and one of my dogs pooped in the book. So I cleaned it the best I could, but I returned this book that had dog poop in it.
Oh my God. Stay away from page 56.
Didn't feel good about it.
Just some kid's trying to do his homework. He's like, it smells like shit. It smells like ass. Just trying to learn algebra.
Yeah, I really should just rip those pages out. But they didn't bill me for the book, so that's a win in my book.
That's so funny. Oh my God. Usually it's my dog ate my homework, but your dog shit.
I couldn't read number 43 in the book because it was covered in poop.
Oh, cool. Well, that does it for questions. We'll get into the wrap up. We'll read a review. We do weekly reviews, if you guys didn't know. I'm pretty sure everyone's on board at this point. about the reviews. This one comes from Franz_Hewlett from Belgium. Sorry if I mispronounced that. It is 5 stars, subject line finally. And it's a long one. It goes, since June, I've listened to every episode of this podcast in order. I finally caught up, and I can now listen to it weekly like a normal guy and can now interact on the subreddit. Had so much fun listening to it. Can't stop laughing when the word when the word masculinity is pronounced now. Almost died of laughter when they discussed is a taco, a hot dog, or a sandwich. Carson and Jeff are making a great duo, and they have interesting guests. Less interesting opinions about movies, though. But that's not really why I listen to it. Keep it going, guys. Catch you on the flip side. P.S. What platform performs the best for the podcast? Where do you guys have the most streams? Thank you, Franz. Appreciate it. We don't really... It's pretty balanced throughout.
It overall, I think Spotify probably is like the most, but I think that I don't know what we would even prefer at this point since we don't have any advertisers.
Yeah.
Which we're kind of working on. If you want to sponsor us,
we're open.
Yeah. Instead of wearing a DJ shirt, he'll wear your company. What if you put like your name here as the shirt you wore?
This episode is brought to you by CustomTees.com.
So you mean T-shirt, right? Not custom tees, like
no.
TEASE.
Yeah, no.
So it's like Cameo, but you get celebrities just to tease you.
Tease you. Custom tees. Yeah. So, I guess YouTube is
review.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for the review. YouTube is pretty good, and Spotify, I believe, are the two.
Thank you for feeling the vibe of this podcast. Which it's like,
that's what we aim for.
Friendship 1, movies 2.
Yep.
And I meant like 1 and 2 in a list, not like 2 as in poop.
Yeah.
Like my middle school textbook. Yeah, that was the joke I should have made. It should have been something about the math problem was number 2.
Yeah, that would have been.
I really messed
that
up.
Fucked that one up. Nope, not that one.
That was loud.
Yeah. Oh god, I gotta figure out the audio mixing. Anyways, thank you, Franz. The next movie is the next movie we're talking about next week, not in this episode. What if they heard us go next movie and they're like, fuck, how long is this podcast? It is Black Swan, which I believe is available to rent. So
with Natalie Portman.
Yep. Have you ever seen it, Jeff?
No, I just know Natalie Portman's in it.
I haven't seen it either, so it'll be a fun one.
It's about like ballet.
Yeah. If there isn't a swan in the movie, I'm giving it a bad score.
There's probably a swan somewhere is like a visual
metaphor. It's like a metaphor. Right? Yeah, hopefully. We'll see. And lastly, we'd like to thank our patrons. If you'd like to become a patron, head on over to patreon.com/Karstcast. You know the drill. Tons of fun stuff. Bonus episodes. We have a new one out.
Shortly be announcing the next date for our Zoom hangout.
We will. So be out on the lookout for that on our Twitter and on the Patreon page, just so we're clear. And here we go. Let me just expand this. All right. So thank you so much, Allison Grace. And Jeff, I'm ready to announce our next guest is Barack Hussein Obama. Annabelle Falk, Bex, Blake Root, Boat, Brandon Yu, Brock Schultz, Camilla, Drew Jackson, Eden, Grant Gow, my bad, Holly Edwards, Iron Tuss 93, Isabel Iva, Jacob Kolnis, John Van Hout, Joshua Krzwicki, Josie Eiler, Katie T, Kiana, Lickwe, Liv Rob, Lucian Vicina, Luis Buss, Maddie Robertson, Mally Overbow, Martin Deff, Marilee Borslow, Meemaw, Michael Decker, Moses Ox. Nothing to see here, just three kings looking at each other. Pablo Patel, Parks, Ready Steady Ernie, Robert Burke, Sam Farr, Sophia Arieta, Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, Smitty Werbin Jagerman Jensen, Taylor Hardy, 10 Billion, Toad Pimp, Vigard Strom, Vera S. Yolki Sasquatch, and Yusef A. Thank you, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
That was...
Thank you, patrons.
Thank you, patrons.
It just rolls off the tongue, that list.
Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't.
I'm going to say special shout out to realizing that if you add the word "and," it gets really high in the list for the Jeff, the next guest.
Yeah.
The problem was he was just one name ahead of you. Otherwise,
So
it
it's
would have been slightly better because it would have been like before the whole list even was read.
I was gonna say, like, it would be really cool if it was at the very end. Then it really would have gotten us.
Yeah, imagine. Yeah, so it's like Z and Jeff.
Yeah.
What if Barack Obama was a guest on this podcast? It would be the most confusing PR move of all time.
So it's weird that someone, I don't know if this person asked this question, but there was a question in the question thread today that I just didn't put in. I figured maybe we could do it another time. But it was, what movie would you force Barack Obama to watch? But we'll answer
absolutely,
that.
Ishtar.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I was gonna say something
Because it has to, the thing is that question, it's really just like what movie that you love that's not that popular would you want a famous person to see?
I know he hasn't seen Popstar, and I would like him to watch Popstar.
That would be funny to watch.
Yeah.
Barack Obama watch Popstar.
Yeah. Especially because there's, yeah. Anyways, this is, I think that's it. Thanks, patrons. Jeff, do you have anything else to say? What a disaster of an episode this was. Mike went fuzzy, talked about Back to the Future. Yeah.
Well, I'll catch you on the flip side. I was going to try to even make some kind of special message about like Back to the Future and like Looper or something. I felt like there was some kind of time travel reference I could have done.
Flip side, catch you on the
flip side.
Catch you on the flip side. You have to. Don't you usually flip side?